Hello, my name is Joe Skierman, and my team and I have been up to some really cool development I just wanted to share with you guys. So we're going to take a look around the room and see some of the devices and solutions we've been building for Skype for Business and its predecessor, Link. So as you can see here, the first thing I'm going to show you is it's basically a telehealth type solution. So a patient basically going to a kiosk at a local pharmacy that's convenient for them, or even doing this in the comfort of their own home. There's a couple different ways to do this. Connecting to a physician, they could be a world away. They could be working in their office, and I'll show you some integrated devices with some of the medical equipment that we've got, as well as what you can do just from the browser alone. So let's start here with basically our setup. I'm going to explain this, as far as the setup here. Basically, I'm showing on a Perceptive Pixel device or PPI device a display screen that's touch enabled that could run at any type of pharmacy or kiosk that you want to enable a telehealth pod within. So the first thing that we've done here is we've enabled an interface here for the patient. It's all browser based. It basically integrates with a solution called Health Vault from Microsoft. Basically allows you to store all of your health data, such as your wearable device data from a Fitbit device like I'm wearing here, or a Fitbit scale that we have down here that does Wi-Fi enabled weight updates as well, or any type of device that you're working with to maintain or manage all of your personal data. Health Vault can store all that data for you. Now, a lot of hospitals and doctors' offices use their own medical information systems, and so what the good news about Health Vault is that when patients track all their data in Health Vault and it's personal to them, they can then share this data with the hospital or the physician's office and share that data real time. And we've been able to service in here when you log into our app for telehealth, you can actually share your Health Vault data directly to the physician in the telehealth appointment. That's a pretty cool thing. So as you can see here on the dashboard, a patient can sign in, they can see their upcoming appointments, basically join a lobby, which we'll do here in a few seconds, and visit with a physician remotely. And while they're waiting, they can view the latest and greatest articles, and they can see other data as well. They can see their info coming directly from Health Vault as well, their family info, additional requests or updates that are coming from Health Vault. So you can actually give your physician access to your Health Vault records directly from the app as well. We can see different devices that we can integrate with the pod itself. As you notice here on the top of the kiosk here, and this can be integrated however you want to build this, but we've been able to connect to integrate directly with the app as well for body scanning and other types of tests. You can see here other devices, like I mentioned before, Fitbit devices, blood pressure monitors, weight scales, etc. can all be integrated as well. And then you can always see what your scan history was. And the scan history comes directly from Health Vault as well, so it's synchronizing at the same time, so you're getting the latest and greatest data on your scanning. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to join an appointment. Before I actually join the appointment that I need to join, I'm going to go over here and show you what we have set up here for physicians as well. So as you can see here, this is a medical pod that you would typically find in any doctor's office or ER setup, or even at a physician's office at a hospital, or even at the hospital itself. This is an Ergotron model. It's pretty cool. It adjusts in height. You can also unlock or lock the wheels and move the device around, and then lock them again. You can store valuables down in the drawer. It's all locked, using your own key. You can put a keyboard here if you choose to, and there's a huge storage space here. And actually in this storage space, if you come up a little closer, you can see that I have a Surface Pro 3 basically integrated into or enabled into the storage space here. You can create some better configurations here. I just threw everything in the drawer for demo purposes. As you notice here, I've got a USB hub for the monitors that are touch enabled to connect to the Surface, which I'm sharing on both touch enabled screens here, and then a display mini DisplayPort hub that connects via DisplayPort to the screens as well. But the Surface Pro itself can obviously be out in the open, and you can use it and interact with the screens, or you can just use the Surface Pro itself, or you can just use the touch interface for the screens. So in this example, I basically have a touch-enabled interface on a cart that you would typically see in a doctor's office. I've got the physician logged into the physician dashboard for physicians to be able to manage their patients remotely. And then I've got different apps that are open like specific reports. This is a capsular endoscopy report that we're going to share during the session as well, as you'll see. And from here, this is basically our basis for communicating. So if the patient has an app at the kiosk or at home, the physician has an app, directly on his or her Surface Pro 3s or a browser-based device, could be an iPad, whatever, or a cart-enabled configuration like this. So what we're going to do here is I'm signed in as a physician. His name is Anders Madsen. He's waiting for me to actually join my session. I'm signed in over here at the kiosk. Again, this could be somewhere close by at a nearby pharmacy or even a local place where the pod could be, or I could just do this from home. It's completely up to me. But the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and join that appointment. So I'll just go ahead and click on the appointment. You'll see that I'm currently in the doctor's lobby. So the same scenario or process that you would do at a doctor's office, instead of having to sit at the doctor's office with a lot of sick people in the lobby, you don't have to do that anymore. While you're waiting, just like you would be at the doctor's office, you can browse the internet or browse some targeted ads that the physician's office is targeting at you, or you're allowed to read different articles that are tailored for you. And if you look over here, the physician's going to receive an update in their environment, whether it's on the device or on a configuration like this. Again, this is just a browser, so it can run on anything. You'll see that I've joined the patient lobby. So I can have multiple patients join the lobby, and I can see specific data about those patients while I'm waiting to admit people to the lobby. But I'm going to go ahead and click on that individual, who's me, to join the actual telehealth session. So what's happening now is I'm going to get a request on the site basically saying, are you ready for a call from the physician? I can click OK, and I can basically start a call. So now what's happening, and this is all powered by Skype for Business and Link. So all of this works in terms of a secure communication transport mode directly from and powered by the Skype for Business and Link environment. So it runs on either platform. And again, it's all browser-based, so you can run this in any machine as long as you have the appropriate codec to run the video itself. So now we're in a live HD browser-based telehealth session between the patient, wherever they want to be, at home or at a kiosk, and the physician over here can see the patient as well on their kiosk. Now, again, you have to have the appropriate equipment to do some of this stuff, like make sure you have a webcam, make sure you have a Link or Skype account as a physician. But the patients themselves can just join via the browser itself. They don't have to have a Link account. They don't have to have a Skype for Business account. They can just have a Skype account or a Microsoft account and start communicating right away. Now, above and beyond the actual audio-video session, so here I can expand this into a full screen HD audio video. Just go ahead and do that. And it'll basically take a minute to register the HD video for a second. Oops, there we go. Okay, and go back to the main screen. So I can go to full screen video mode, or I can keep it in the docked mode if I choose to. And then from here, I can start doing some things as a physician or patient during the session. So outside of seeing and hearing each other, which is step one, and to do so securely, the next step that we have is basically doing stuff from the physician's standpoint directly with the patient. You're going through certain scenarios. So you can see here, as a physician, I can see the previous scans that I've had with the patient. So we've done x-rays, we've done some Connect tests, we've done some weight tests. I can start a new scan directly. So I can go ahead and start a new scan, and I can choose the type of scan that I want. And this depends on the devices that are set up for the patient at their locale. So if they don't have a specific device that's ready, then it's not going to show up here. So basically, let's start with a blood pressure monitor test. So I can click on the blood pressure monitor test. You can see that it says the scan started. It's waiting for the patient to send feedback. So if you look over here on the patient's view, the patient can then see instructions as to how to go through the blood pressure monitor test. So this is one example of a blood pressure monitor. You can use any device that's connected to the HealthVault device portfolio. Those are hundreds, if not 1,000 plus devices. This one tells me to strap it on my wrist and then basically go through the process of taking my blood pressure, which I won't bore you with, and plus it'll be high since I'm talking nonstop, barely breathing, and going through this demo. It'll tell you what to do to get the data there, and basically it imports directly into the machine, and you can send the results directly to the physician from here. At this time, it's going to update HealthVault live as well. So this scan that's happening in real time is going to go to HealthVault and to the physician. So I'm going to go ahead and send these results over, and I can see the scan as well here locally, but you can also see on the physician's view now The physician is seeing other data here that is being shared by the patient in this instance. Now, let's say the patient went through a specific test or procedure, like a endoscopy or colonoscopy, or in this case, a video capillary endoscopy. From this standpoint, I can share that report live as well, again, through the browser. So here the patient or the physician can click on the sharing button and they can share one of these apps. Actually, I'll just share the whole monitor. We'll do monitor 2. And so now what it's doing is it's going to share this screen with the patient, and the patient is going to receive an alert saying they want to share or receive the document. So now the patient can see the application that the physician is sharing. In this case, it's a capillary endoscopy report. So this is a highly secure document that typically isn't emailed. We can get real-time findings, obviously, from the physician to the patient, instead of having to drive, whatever the distance is to the physician to go and find out this information. So again, the beauty of a telehealth appointment is that you can share data, you can see and hear each other, and you can do so now leveraging Skype for Business and Lync securely. So that's what we've been able to enable here. Okay, so now we're going to activate the Connect camera. So what we have to do is go back to the physician view here, and the new scan that the physician is going to do now is the Connect scan. So we'll click on the Connect scan. We'll choose one of the tests here. I'll do the arm rotate test. We've developed 3 for this. So click on the arm rotate test. You can see now that the scan has started. We're waiting for the patient's results. And if you can see over here on the screen now, the Connect device that's on top of the pod or on top of the monitor, has now activated, and now it's activated into the application during the telehealth appointment. So again, we're still seeing and hearing the physician over here using Lync and Skype over here, but over here on the left-hand side, we've activated the Connect camera. So the physician basically can program certain exercises they want the patient to go through, and they can actually go through them. So here, I can put my hands on my shoulders like it's telling me to do, and you can see that I have a certain set of progress based on the exercise that it's asked me to perform. As I'm going through the exercise, it's increasing that progress as well. And basically the physician can see me doing this test at the same time. So we feel it's a very cool solution, and we've integrated all based on the Lync and Skype for Business platform. So that's one app that we've developed that's pretty cool.